This is the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Inside the ring, outside the ring, it's all here.
We're talking about the greatest sport of all, professional wrestling. Come on!
And now, here's Nick and Keith.
Do it, let's do it. Let's bring this over. Okay. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Podcast. My name is Nick. His name is Keith. Keith, this Saturday, WWE will host a PLE for the first time in Scotland. It is going to be Clash at the Castle. It will go down at the OVO Hydro in Glasgow. Keith, the main event, Drew McIntyre's hoping to achieve another career best moment in his home country. It's going to be a really good PLE. Again, we got another weekend PLE. Again, we got another PLE in a different country. I mean, you can't beat it. Early start time, 1 o'clock on Saturday is just perfect. Keith, before we start the predictions, because that's what we're doing, your take. What do you think?
I'm looking forward to it, man. I think, this is going to be another one. So Backlash France was like off the chain with the crowd and everything like that.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stuff I've been reading online. Like Scottish people like took that as like a challenge. And they're trying to be louder than France on this one. And like I put like a TikTok up on my thing after the France one. Like there was the clip of like the huge pop for LA Knight and then the friggin' camera shaking when Styles is in the ring and just being basically just saying like we're all like in trouble here in America unless we up our game with the crowd reaction. So if it happens in Scotland, we may never see another PLE here in the States again. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good raucous crowd. They got a lot of Scottish people on the card. That's going to help really bring them up too.
Yes.
So yeah, it's going to be, I'm excited for it. I'm loving that it's still just like a 5-match card as of now. Yes. Spoiler, it's Thursday. Maybe SmackDown adds something else. I don't know what they would add, but maybe there's something else that gets added. But even so, 5 or 6 match card, you got to love it. Give everyone a nice amount of time. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And it's interesting, too, just because AJ is going to go one-on-one with Cody again. We'll get to the predictions, like we said. That is just, again, this is another main event that is out of the country, and Cody is your champion. We'll see what happens there. But it's interesting just because the needle really hasn't moved much since Roman left. But we got what we wanted. He finished his story, and it's I'm not going to say, he's having bad matches. It might be the opposite. He's having great matches. There's no issue with this. It's just, I don't know. Where are we going here? But we'll get to it. Let's get to the first match of the night, and it's going to be for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are your champions, and this is a triple threat. Keith, it's Alba and Dawn and Shayna and Zoey Starks. This is going to be fun. Again, this is another, I don't want to say throwaway match, but this is maybe leading into the breakup of Jade and Belair. I don't know where this is leading to, but it's still fun to see the tag titles actually being used, actually being, part of a PLE. So
given some
I'm
shine.
all for that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm all for that. Keith, let's start the predictions with this match. What do you got here, brother?
Yeah, so, like I just kind of said there's 3 matches on the whole card that are featuring Scottish natives in some way. So like at least one of those 3 matches with Scottish people in it has to be won by said Scottish people. And I think this is a bold one, I feel like, but this is going to be the one that is Scottish winners. I think Alba and Isla are going to actually win it here. Zoey or Shayna is going to take the pin, unfortunately. Because Zoey, I feel like, hasn't really reached her potential yet on the main roster. Not her fault. I just feel like she was really great in NXT, and she's just been kind of there on the main roster. Shayna, for whatever reason, they just refuse to get behind. So one of those two is going to take the pin so that, Jade and Bianca leave still looking strong, even though they lose the titles. And I think, I don't know, I'm feeling like maybe there's some kind of miscommunication, something or other with them where they're not even in the ring when that last, when the pinfall happens. And just to really start to begin to actually do the first kind of the first actual, someone's putting their finger in the dirt to sow the seed for the breakup and the feud and the everything for their big blow off at Mania. Where I know it's really early for like thinking about Mania next year already, but like,
yeah,
I think we get the first like seed here where it's like they're both out there. There's some kind of miscommunication, so they don't get back in time, and it's one of those of like there's a frustrated look, but then we're fine actually. Like, you know, when we see them on Monday, everything's fine. They're okay, and you know it's a setback, but they're coming back for them, and and you know.
Keith, it seems like in recent years and even the past 6 or 7 months since Trips has taken over, it seems like we've gotten a lot of things we wanted storyline based. You know, Gunther winning or losing, we wanted something to happen there. Cody finishing the story, it finally happened at WrestleMania. Now, Jade and Belair, it seems like that's something we want. We want something to happen there, and I think the next thing would be a breakup. I just don't think it's going to be out of the United States, out of America. I think it's going to happen in the States. So I think it's an easy win. Chalk it up to Belair and Jade. I think this is going to be maybe it starts the process. Maybe something does happen there, but they do retain.
Okay. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a thing where they like start coming to blows at the end of this all and everything like that. But I think this is like, you know, like I said, it's like this is someone's like pushing their finger into the dirt to plant the seed, but the seed isn't even going to be planted yet. It's just going to be like, all right, maybe they're not as on the same page as we thought, and it's going to like start the very slow burn to them at Mania. Because I mean, like you said, this is definitely something that we want. I have wanted this since before they even got together. I wanted them. I said for our Rumble our Rumble kind of reactions. I was just like, dude, Jade and Bianca is a Mania match. Like, give it to me this year. Yep. And we didn't get it this year, and that's fine. Slow build. Sounds good to me. Give it to me next year, though. Definitely give it to me next year. So let's get going toward that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. I mean, it's a match made in heaven. I mean, who doesn't want to see Jade and Belair? It's going to happen. It may not be a 5-star, but we want something to happen. I think that will happen soon. Keith, let's get to the next match, the Intercontinental Championship. That is your champion, Keith. Sami Zayn will go one-on-one with the 2023 Duder of the Year, Chad Gable, and something, Keith, here. Something has to give. I said it in the last predictions that I thought Chad was going to win, and it's just like, can he ever be believable after losing? Well, he is. He's still believable. Right. Is it getting stale? I don't know. Is it like the finish the storyline? I don't think so necessarily, but I do think something's got to give. Right. You know, with Gunther, something had to give, and he lost at Mania, and it's been great. He's going on to do other things like King of the Ring, but it just seems like it's not a back and forth, which is great because I hate when they do that, but it just seems like not a standstill. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like, okay, it's time. It's time. Sami didn't need it. Sami was the right guy, in my opinion, to beat Gunther at WrestleMania. Right. I just think it's time. I think the writing's on the wall. I think if they're going to do anything, it's got to be at Clash at the Castle, and it's got to be Gable going over. So I got Gable winning here. Brother, what do you got? Let's hear it.
No, I mean, I love it. It hurts me to say it because I do love my boy Sami Zayn so very much, but I do think this is finally now we are at, it's Gable's time. Yeah. I was on the fence for a little bit about this one because there's been like all the talk about his contract of like it's up and he's leaving and AEW's interested, but when I finally sat down to get all my predictions and my notes and stuff for the predictions together here, the last thing I had heard is that he was going to, if he hasn't already, he is going to be re-signing with WWE. And if that is the case, it's his time now. It has to be his time now. I feel like it may not be like a clean win. I feel like we actually see something involving like Creed Brothers Diamond Mine kind of interference in play there. Oh, they've been doing like little talks with Gable and stuff in the background of promos and stuff for the past like couple of weeks and whatever. So maybe they're involved. They're involved in some way. They get Chad to win. Chad wins it. He separates from the rest of Alba, dispels the other three, which maybe then sets Otis up as his first feud for the IC title. I don't think Otis is taken away from him, obviously, right away. But, when that breakup happens, when the flip like that happens, it's going to be a huge pop when Otis finally clotheslines Gable. Like, it's going to be huge. Yeah. So that's, we get to that. Otis, like, he throws Otis out. Otis goes after him. Dynamite jumps on him. So then there's more sympathy for him. But
yes,
I think Gable takes it due to some interference. Yeah. And we get a new, basically, Team Angle 2.0 with Perk, Gable, and then, the Creed brothers are Shelton and Charlie.
Yeah.
This is where I'm at.
Honestly, I don't see how that goes any other way. I mean,
right.
That's perfect. Seriously.
I get the argument that it's been, we keep saying with, like, anybody else that kind of, like, won at Mania, like, it just feels too soon. It feels too soon. But, like, I love Sami. It has nothing to do with, like, him not doing it for me as a champion. But, like, this was, like, meant to be Gable the whole time. And, like, Sami doesn't need a belt to be over. We proved that, with him in the Bloodline and everything. So, might as well.
I think you said it perfectly too. Like, I think at the end of the day, maybe Sami won so Gable can win.
Right.
Like, if you look that far, I know they say we book Mania a year in advance. I don't know about that with trips. I know that's what Vince used to do, but it just seems like everything is lining up. And Otis, next man up, that would be cool. That would be really interesting to see. Again, he's not going to win, but it's just it would fit the story.
Exactly.
For Tozawa and Dupree, I mean, they had their run. That was really interesting. They'll do something with Tozawa. He's always been one of those, like, R-Truths kind of guys, like, utilized in any single way. He'll step up. So Dupree, I mean, she's great, but it's time. It's time for Alpha Academy to just dissemble and then have this new, like you said, Team Angle 2.0. It's just it writes itself. It's going to be great. So, yes, sir. Yeah. Keith, let's get to the next match. It is for the WWE Women's Championship, and that is your champion Bayley will go one-on-one with your girl Piper Niven. I just don't know what they're doing with Bayley. I mean, she got her moment and it was lackluster. Her matches ever since have been lackluster. This storyline, I don't even know if there is a storyline. I think she's just champion. That's lackluster. So it just seems like this is the kind of this follows Bayley every time she wins a title. It's just she wins it and it's all great, and it just was a celebration, in itself, because she needed that singles championship to win at Mania, and she did it, and it was just great. I don't know, man. I don't know what you do next. I don't know if it's because of her. I don't know if there's some sort of politicking. I don't know if it's just because there's not a legitimate next woman up. But Piper showed what she had a few months ago, and just ever since she's been brought up to NXT, she's taken whatever she's been given, if it's a tag team or just something. She just takes it and capitalizes and does her best with it, and I think that's what she'll do here. This is kind of similar to let's see, Cody and Damian, in my opinion, but we're getting too far. Bayley's going to retain here. It's just it's going to be a good match. That's really all I see. It's going to be a decent match, but I'm not in it, man. My head's not in it. I'm not interested. I love Bayley. I mean, doesn't. It's just like, what are we doing? Bring back her and Michael Cole. Something. I don't know what it is, but it's just blah. What do you got?
I couldn't agree more with you. I definitely think Bayley is suffering a little bit from the same kind of little bit of illness that, like, Cody is, where it's just kind of like she just needs needs a thing. She just had, like, it's just like she's just having competitors, but there's no meat behind them. Even this one, for as much as I love and beat the Piper Niven drum so much, like, this was kind of just like, we need someone for Bayley to fight at the pay-per-view. Piper, you're Scottish. You want to go? Come on, you're gonna challenge Bayley. Like, it literally is almost like it came out of nowhere that she's challenging.
Like the whole Vegas thing.
So, like, I'm gonna preemptively pour one out for my girl Piper, because Bayley's gonna retain. I think Piper is gonna look amazing and like a world beater in this match. Like, they're gonna have a clash. Bayley is, for as much as, like, all of this, it's like it's not clicking for whatever reason, and whatnot. Bayley's awesome in the ring. She's gonna make Piper look like a star. But ultimately, Piper's gonna come up short. maybe I'm thinking it's somehow going to be like Chelsea tries to help her in some way, but like it backfires, or like, you know, like it'll be like Chelsea's fault. She'll try to help it goes awry or whatever, so that Piper still looks good. But you know, I don't know. I just think they have way too much invested in Bayley, and they're like, most unfortunately, there hasn't been a lot of like build or anything behind Piper for her to sustain like a title reign. Like if she won it here, it would be like a holy crap moment and everything like that. But like come Monday, like when we're back in America, there's going to be a lot of people in America that are just like, what the hell? You know, and I hate that. I hate having to say that, because like she is amazing in the ring. Piper Niven is incredible in the ring. So like it sucks to put it on that, but like I don't know. Maybe like the loss here like will like light a bigger fire, and they'll like build her more and everything. So then maybe we get a rematch with like a Piper Niven who's been like well pushed and maybe has gone to like a face or like tweener role at this point. We get them rematching at SummerSlam. You know,
something's got to give,
something like
Keith.
that. It's just, you know, Bayley's going to retain. It's unfortunate because I want Piper to win, but she won't. And it is. It's like, you know, Bayley, it's just, I think it is just she had this story built up. She had this big swell behind her. She won it. It's a little bit like the Hangman thing. Like we wanted her to win it. She won it, but now you're not doing much with her. And it's even more, it sucks because it's more of a thing of like booking again, of like, there was a story ready made there because there was all the damage control stuff going on. But then just leading up to it, Mania itself, and then her beating Io, you just made damage control look like a friggin' joke. So like, the story that was there for us all to watch for a couple of weeks or a months or two or whatever with damage control, you dropped it before it even had a chance to be a thing that wasn't dropped, you know?
Everything that I can recall, just like has been blah. I mean, like you even discussed, like the whole lead up to WrestleMania was just like, we know Bayley's going to win. This is going to be really fun. She's going to get her spotlight, but it's just like, what's next? I don't know.
Yeah,
it sucks. It's like the whole thing with Vega too. You know, Vega, she got it because she, you know, to go one-on-one with Rhea in Puerto Rico made sense. She was hell over. It was actually a pretty decent match. It was short. I'm comparing the situation. I'm not comparing the competitor because Niven is just 10 times better. But let's see. Hopefully something happens here, you know. Maybe Chelsea Green will get in the mix and have her chance. But, Keith, let's get to, I guess, the two main events. Let's start with the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest, your champion, will go one-on-one with Drew McIntyre. I said it from the start. This is Drew McIntyre's home country. It's the first time WWE is holding a PLE in Scotland. The crowd's going to be insane. I mean, this is going to top any wrestling event that we've seen live or in person, or on TV, because in person and live, I guess, is the same thing. But you know what I'm trying to say here. It's going to be great. I think we all know what's going to happen. But Keith, I'll let you take it away. What do you got here?
Yeah, no, the crowd for this one is going to be crazy. Think about how loud and everything, and everyone wanted Drew to win against Roman last year when that was Clash of the Castle in Wales. Not even its home country. It just happens to be in the UK, you know? So they're going to be off the chains for it here. You already know where I'm at. If you've watched any episode of our show here since WrestleMania this year, you already know what I think is happening here. Priest is going to retain because of Punk in some way. I don't know how it's going to be. Maybe not necessarily just like a straight up distraction where, you know, Drew's about to, you know, 3, 2, 1. Maybe not that simple. Maybe it is just that. Who knows? But something is going to happen, you know. Punk, maybe it's like Punk comes out and he just nails Drew in the balls in front of the ref, so it's a DQ win. So Drew wins, but he doesn't get the title. Or if it's like someone from the Judgment Day, like comes out dressed like Punk, and it gets Priest all mad, so he starts swinging a chair. He gets the DQ. Whatever. The point is, something will happen involving CM Punk and his music and his likeness in some way that Priest is leaving with the title again. Because, I mean, I've said it before. I'll just keep saying it. Like, Punk and Drew that feud has already been cooking real well, doing real good. It's all starting to smell real nice. We're all starting to get real, real hungry for it. It's leading to a huge match at SummerSlam. Or maybe just the first huge match between the two of them at SummerSlam. Maybe it's going to be a series of them. The first one just happens to be there, But the point is that this feud it's been simmering. It's been boiling away. We're loving it. The house is smelling delicious because of it. It never needed the title, Like adding the title to it is one of those things where it's like you got something real nice going on the stove and it's already going to be real good. And then you're just like, you know what? We'll just put like some gold in here. And it's like, well, it's not going to really make it any better. It's just going to look shinier now. But like, whatever. You know? So it never needed the title. It still doesn't need the title. Drew doesn't need to win. Plus, I just think, I don't know, maybe I'm like one of those people who's like, me, I'm an agent of chaos. But like, I just think they're going to be so behind Drew that like, if he doesn't win it again, I just want to see the reaction the crowd has to him not winning it. So yeah, Priest is going to retain. I don't know. What do you got? I talked enough there.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think Priest retains. It's just too good to pass up. I mean, you got like, the ultimate villain for the past 3 to 4 months, just killing it. I mean, he's just great on social media, on the mic. I mean, every promo he's had so far, it's just been, wow, he is the top heel, and that's what he is. And what do you need? As much as we, diss CM Punk, hearing his music, or like you said, the likeness, anything, him coming out, it's just going to be a huge pop. And that's what you need. You need, the Roddy Piper to the Hulk Hogan. You need that. You need somebody. And I think it's been brewing, like you said, it's been cooking for a long time. Even if, he's not in a feud, Drew will, he's not technically in a feud with CM Punk, but technically he is. But every other feud that he's been in, he's always found a way to bring up Punk.
Yeah.
So it's just, like we said, like I've said in the past, we got a meal, crock pot, slow cooking. That's what we're going to get. Again, it's too easy to pass up. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole thing. Priest isn't the guy, which I don't really think he is. But he's doing well. He's cutting some promos that are, not amazing, but he's telling a story. It's not like, he was in the ring with Drew this week on Monday Night Raw, and he held his own. I mean, Drew definitely, killed it, but it's just, he is the guy that cashed in at WrestleMania, and that's going to be one of his biggest moments, if not the biggest moment of his career. And it's, it's been amazing, but he can still win somehow and make something happen, make something out of this. So, the Judgment Day, that storyline with Dom and Liv, that's still going. That's fun. It's just, I don't know, he's not the guy, but he's intertwined with a bunch of the guys that it makes it interesting. And like I said in the past predictions, Drew or Damian Priest is, an everyman. We wanted him to win, and he won. And that's what we're going to get here at Clash at the Castle. Again, I think the phrase here is it's too good. It's too good to have the heel lose in his home country for an interference from someone like Punk. It's just, again, it writes itself.
Well, and there's a couple of two other like things. One of them just popped in the head. One I meant to write notes about and I forgot to, so it just clicked when you were mentioning Priest there. But so one that this popped in my head is like, it's way too good of an opportunity because it's a really unique situation where for one of the first times on like a pay-per-view in pro wrestling since like the mid to late 90s, like MJF pulls it off or was pulling it off in AEW when they would go to Long Island. He's over as all hell when he goes home in Long Island, but everywhere else in the world at the time, he was super heel. Different now, different circumstances, whatever. Yep. Right now, though, with this match in particular, going into this, Drew is going to be the face because they're in Scotland. He's the face in all of this. And when Punk interferes, Punk's going to be the heel. The rest of the world, the way this has all been, because of all the good feelings for Punk being back and everything, and really, even if you don't have the warm, fuzzy feelings like I don't like for Punk being back, but in general for it, Drew's been the heel throughout all of this. Like, I'm glad I injured you at the Royal Rumble. Glad I did whatever. Like, Drew, Punk, like Drew was gloating to Punk at Mania. Punk tripped him up, got his comeuppance, so then he got cashed in on, lost the title. Like Punk's been the face, Drew's been the heel. In Scotland, it's going to be the flop, like Bret Hart was in the 90s. Bret was, heel everywhere else. When he went to Canada, he was the conquering hero and he was God. So it's like they're in that really good position like that, where it's, it's going to be cool, where like it's going to be this big moment in Scotland with everything, and we all want it to happen too. But like when it comes home, it's going to be a lot of like laughing at Drew because of like what happened. Like he's in that in between a little bit, but like it's a really cool position there.
Yeah.
But the other thing I meant to like write down and kind of forgot about, but like the biggest reason outside of everything I was talking about with Drew and Punk not needing a title and all of that, where it's going to lead to, the big thing we have to keep in mind is that Gunther won King of the Ring. Gunther has a world heavyweight title shot at SummerSlam. Gunther's going to win that title at SummerSlam. And if that's happening, Drew's not taking the title here, because you're not giving Drew the title now, having him hold it for a month and then lose it to Gunther at SummerSlam. I think Priest is going to retain here. And that's not a knock on Priest, as, like you said, we can go back and forth. Priest is the guy. Priest isn't the guy. He might be the guy. Maybe he was the guy. Is the guy? Who knows? He's a guy. He is a guy who holds the title, though, right now.
Yeah.
It's been what it's been. I think he kind of got it in a set of circumstances with that title that weren't great, because it was Seth was the first and the only champion for forever. Drew beat him for it, had to build more heat on the storyline he's got going with Punk. Priest just happened to benefit to be the one to be able to take it out of there because it didn't need to have it and everything. He's mixed back in with it a little bit now, but Gunther will do more with that title. Not just because I love Gunther so much. He just will. Gunther is going to take that title from Priest at SummerSlam, so Priest has to keep it until SummerSlam. It doesn't make sense for Drew to have it and then for Drew to beat Gunther at SummerSlam.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I mean, this is wrestling at its finest. You have the heel gloat, the heels gloating and just, I'm the best. Best. You suck. And then what happens? He gets embarrassed. I mean, it's just, 1 + 1 is 2. Like that's wrestling at its finest, and it's going to be great. Again, the added, cherry on top is, being in his home country. It's just, I mean, I feel like even the fans there want this to happen. It's just it's too good,
Definitely.
This is great. Let's get to the main event. I don't know if it's going to be the main event, but it is for the title, the WWE Undisputed. I think they're just calling it Undisputed now. I don't know if they're doing heavyweight. I don't know if they're Universal.
It's weird that they're calling it Undisputed, because if there's 2 world titles, then one of them can't be undisputed because there's 2 world titles.
Undisputed, yeah.
But whatever.
Yep.
Semantics of English.
So let's get to it. The undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, will go one-on-one again with AJ Styles. But Keith, this isn't any ordinary match. It is an I Quit match. We haven't seen this in a while. I don't know why that is, but this is, just an added bonus. I mean, the first match was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think there were some, mess ups, but that's just wrestling. It happens. Botches happen, and it held up. It was great, not just because of the fans. It was just great because it was just 2 guys that just wanted to prove something, and they're going to do that again at Clash at the Castle. The build-up has been, interesting. I mean, we saw AJ and the whole retirement Mark Henry thing, which I didn't really get. I don't know if you can do that. You can't do that twice. If something's that good, it's hard to replicate, and they did, and it was okay. I think it's just not, I don't want to compare it to the Bayley situation, but there is real no story. The story that I think is just 2 guys that just did a lot outside of the WWE, and now they're going one-on-one for the title in WWE. Again, I'm not complaining. I think this is going to be another great match, but Cody isn't done here. Cody is not going to, the story is not finished. So I got Cody winning, going over. I Quit. Again, it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Keith, what do you got here?
Yeah, no, this is going to be awesome. It is the first I Quit match we've had in a while. I was just doing a quick look-see-do, without counting for things like house shows and different kind of, stuff like that and everything. This is only the 25th I Quit match like ever in WWE history.
There we go. We got some Justin,
right? I'm trying to make up for him because he's not around for us today. So this is actually, according to Wikipedia, this is the last one. This is the first one since 2022. Last one was Edge and Baszler at Extreme Rules in our backyard in October 2022 up in Philly.
Yes.
So the first one's 2022, which is awesome. And I Quit match is really cool. It's a really unique one. We don't get to see it much. Even when we do see it, it always feels like a special thing.
Yep.
And it's, everything like you just kind of said. It's no disrespect to AJ at all, but it's still just not quite time to take that strap off of Cody yet. He is the literal American Superman in terms of like public presence and whatnot and everything like that. And, I know that kind of stuff shouldn't really factor into like the storylines and stuff for like a major wrestling company and all, but like in this case, like how can it not? You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't factor into that stuff, but like how can it not? It's why we had, the LOL Cena wins memes for years, because it was the same kind of idea there.
Yeah.
Not saying that Cody's at that point yet at all.
No.
So, AJ is phenomenal, pun intended. AJ's phenomenal.
Oh.
And, he's like beyond a first ballot Hall of Famer for the WWE Hall of Fame. He will go in the year after retirement. Like I'm saying, even if it's something, if he decides a week before Mania 41 this year, they will fix it all up so that he is the headliner going into the Hall of Fame in 2025. If that happens that way. Like he is in, there's nothing doubting any kind of amazingness in him and everything. And maybe there is one more run with a world title in the books for him. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if there is, it's not here. And luckily, with the stipulation, with the I Quit match being more or less, Extreme Rules, you just also have to say I quit to lose the match. He can take the loss without like looking too weak. But yeah, I'm really stoked for this match. I'm really interested to see like what they do with the stipulation. Like, are we gonna get like Gallows and Anderson involved in some way? Are we gonna get anyone coming out to help Cody out? Like, is Kevin Owens coming out to help him out? Is the Bloodline going to show back up to try to help AJ in some way just because they all hate Cody or something? Like all that kind of fun nonsense. Like, I'm really, they have it right. Yeah. Yeah. One American hero goes down, the real American hero comes out to save the day.
Yeah.
But then he pulls another NWO and drops the leg on Cody. That would be, I don't want that at all, but that would be fucking amazing if that happened. Just all of that. There's situations like this in a world title are fun because of all that kind of crap can happen, especially being in Scotland where they've, they've never been. I'm not going to pretend to be able to pull a Scottish celebrity out of my head. Isn't James McAvoy Scottish? Someone will correct me on that. Maybe he shows up. He's the one who plays the young Professor X in the newer X-Men movies. Maybe he shows up and he does mind control to somebody. And you know what I mean? Like we're not in that era anymore, thankfully. But
this ain't WCW.
Right.
But I think there's two things here. The first thing is like Cody is your champion. I mean, if you want any champion or any athlete to be a champion, he is your champion. What do? You see him on NXT. You see him a bunch of radios. Right. You see him a bunch of TVs, bunch of morning shows. Like he is your champion. He speaks well. He looks good. He's part of the Rhodes bloodline. Everybody knows Dusty. Everybody knows Goldie. Gold or Dustin, whatever. You just I like
Goldie Rhodes.
Yeah, I know him pretty well. He's like the guy. That's who you want. It's kind of like John Cena on his 8th or 9th title. Right. It's like I love it. I'm all for it. I think he's great. I think he's awesome in the ring. I think he the entrance to the promos to his matches, everything about Cody is great. I just think there's something, I don't want to say better, but there's something people are looking forward to maybe a little bit more, and that is when is The Rock going to return? Right. And also, when is Roman Reigns going to return? And that, I don't want to say it's hurting Cody, but it's not helping Cody. I think, 2 years of wanting to finish the story, and he finished the story. It's great. Bayley won at Mania. It's amazing. Yeah. Cody won at Mania. It's amazing. It's just, I don't know. They're like treading very lightly, and it's just,
right.
He's good. He's best for business. I'll take the, what Trips used to say back in the day. I think Cody is best for business. Absolutely. And he's putting on really good matches, not bangers, but I mean, the first match at Backlash with AJ was really good. And that wasn't because of the fans. It was just because they're just two professionals that really know what to do. They know everything about inside the ring, outside the ring. It's just, Cody's going to win. I just think maybe we're looking for something else. I don't know what it is, but there is, right? There's something.
That's exactly what it is. It's just like we talked about with Bayley. It's just like we talked about with Cody when he took on AJ the first time. It's just like we talked about Cody when he took on Logan Paul in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. He's good. He made Logan.
He's great.
Logan Paul's pretty good. He made Logan Paul look really good. Him and AJ are both really good. They had a really good match. They're going to have another really good match here. No questions asked. But we're like, it's almost like a thing of like, none of us think Cody is going to lose here because we know there's going to be more to it. Like he hasn't had.
I mean, Randy.
I get like, you know, I've said before, like I understand like not every champion, not every story can be the intricate woven this and that in and out of like the bloodline and everything. I understand that. I'm not looking for that again. Like, sure, if we could write a new and just as engrossing bloodline storyline for every single month, every year, awesome. We can do that. That'd be great. And it would make wrestling even more fun to watch, I'm sure. Wonderful. We can't have that, though, and that's okay because we don't want Vince Russo coming back to and God knows what else he could do. But there's just you kind of said it. It's just like I don't know what the more is, but there's a something that we need. Like we just need. It's just been with Cody and with Bayley. It's just been like you're the champion, so you're going to have a match on this pay-per-view, this PLE. So it'll be this person this week. And now next one, we're going to Saudi Arabia. We need the clicks, we need the likes, we need the buys. It's going to be Logan Paul. You and AJ had a really good match in Backlash, so we're going to just throw some things here so that you guys fight again at Clash of the Castle now when we go overseas again. And it's fine. It's been, honestly, his stuff has worked out better other than the first AJ match, which was like literally no build. It was just like AJ won a thing. Now they can fight. Weird, but whatever. Yeah. It's been better this time. This has been an actual build with the Mark Henry fake retirement, take him down and everything. Yeah. That was fine. So like they're getting into a little bit more now, but just, I don't know. Like I just have like a fear that it's like he's gonna beat AJ this time. That'll end this feud maybe, which would be fine. But then it's like next is gonna just be like Shinsuke Nakamura pops back up. We haven't seen him on TV in a couple of months, but like he's just gonna come back and be like, Cody, your dad's dead, man. Like let's feud again now. Like, well, god damn it. Like I don't know what it is, but there's something that we need.
It's the anticipation. And it's not just Roman and The Rock. I mean, it's Randy too. Like it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be SummerSlam, but we need Randy going one-on-one with Cody. Yeah. I don't know what Randy's up to, but it's going to happen. Again, that's another reason why Cody's going to win here. But it's something. I don't know what it is, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Randy. Exactly. Again, I'm not complaining. I want another AJ match. If they're going to do the whole Seth Rollins thing, I'll see that again. I'll see AJ and Cody 4, 5, 6 times. It's just, I don't know. And I was a big, supporter with Cody. And yes, he's going to finish the story. And I loved everything about it. And I still love Cody. And again, he's the A+ player. Again, if we're taking another Trips catchphrase, definitely. He's just that guy. You want him to be Captain America. And he just, that's it. That's all you want. I love it. Again, I get to maybe dive too deep into this, but it's going to be a hell of an event. It's Saturday, I think at 1:00. Going to kick some ass. Keith, let's end it here, brother. Give the people what they want. How can they find you?
You already know. I am on TikTok and X at Keith of the Ring, and I am on Instagram at _Keith of the Ring.
Yes, sir. And we are on Instagram at the UW Podcast and X and TikTok at the UW Pod. We do have a fancy website, uwpod.com. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the Saturday PLE at 1:00. We'll see you next time right here on the UW Pod. Peace.